Today we are re-reviewing the games from last Saturday, the league ones, from Waypoint's perspective instead of Wings's. Gotta find these games. Let's see. Yeah, the bow ones. Here we go. Okay. Remind me what I have here. I have clams, umami zones, rain, umami zones again. Okay. We will start with, let's keep it simple. I'm gonna go through the zones ones first. Starting with crab leg. And then I will do the tower one, and then I will do the rainmaker one, and then I'll do the clams one. Yeah. Okay, so we'll start with Moonlight. This game, let me think. I don't really remember too much about this game. I think it's the one where you guys pushed pretty far. And got to like 10 or 20 or something like that. But I don't remember. Let's see. We can start. Right, I remember this. We can start with this opening. I remember saying that I like this. Like, I think everything here for the most part was good. Except for how red plays, like, after we get towards the cooler. So, the reason red, I think you should just push through here is because, like, look at your position. There's no in front. There's one person. These guys, they're all on right side, so you can take over a lot more left space, right? If you hold the left space, that helps put Tenor into a better position to take, like, basically all of zone with you. So yeah, I think that's the goal here, because now Tenor has to move into this position, except Tenor's solo, you know, instead of in a 2v1, and Tenor isn't going to be able to deal with everyone at once. So yeah, that's what makes this bad, or at least worse than it has to be. Let's go back through this one more time. Because yeah, like, Tenor's ultimate goal here is to kind of just grab cooler and start moving left, right? Because there's so much space to work with. Other than that, this is pretty much fine. Luna, I think you're, like, really far back. Even before this, I think you're really far back. I get the overwhelming, like, leader presence, but we gotta do a little more with this cooler here, right? We have it up. I think we could easily just play under wings here. I think it'd be a little better. But after this sequence right here is fine. Like, you guys get this kill, but we're still in line of sight of leader. Like, we need to move them. But it's good that, Loon, you bring yourself into the fight. Oh wait, no, we go back. Okay. See, okay, I'm not too sure I like this either because we give up the space. Loon, if you keep fighting this left side with red, like, you guys are gonna hold this. Like, that's probably your most valuable position right now, because think about it this way, right? Basil has to hold either the left side, like where that purple paint is above shadow. Basil either has to hold that, right? Or Basil has to hold the top right, which is where Basil's trying to hold right now. Because Basil's holding the top right, you guys have a lot more space on the left side than you would normally have against against another team that's playing a lot more left focus. Hold on one second, let me cough. Okay, so because of that, right? Like, I'm sure if Char was to go over these games too, like, he'd be wondering why Basil and all of them are so focused on this right side, because we're just giving them they're just giving you opportunities to move in left here. So I think Loon, you should stay on this left side with red. Like, don't let a bubble deter you. You know, because red has space to move back, which is what she does here. But Loon, like, you can easily keep playing this, or at least throw bombs at it. With red. Great kill. Yep, and all this is pretty good though. Like, either way, even without having to, like, maximize our potential here, we get things done pretty well. Tenor's a little aggro. It's not bad that you're aggro, it's just aggro at a wrong time, I think. And then here, obviously, this is good. We get good picks here. All this works out, so this is great. Let's make sure we paint the right side, which we do an okay job of. And then I don't like... Okay, we do put red on left. That's good. Cooler's in an okay spot. I'm fine with that. Right, this is where Wings gets picked off. This is a really bad spot for Wings to be picked off at. So, okay, think about it this way, right? The Coolers here is fine, but we need to be careful because that means the Tenor is literally just giving them an opening. And that's what Nolan takes. Nolan takes the opening right. And then no one looks there because we're all looking back at this Cooler. And then there's red looking left, right? Because of that, we have no eyes on right at all. None of us are looking right for like this entire 3-4 seconds, and Nolan just gets in. Like, that can't be the case, you know? If Tenor has to come back, someone else needs to step in to hold the spot for Tenor. That's probably Wings, though. But we have really good fights here. Those fights are great. I would have liked if we had put our recall a little further back. But you guys can still play off of this. This isn't that bad. Right, and then this is where Tenor just needs to back up. Alright, we get out. Oh my god. Everything here is fine. Oh, right. Okay, so yeah, I talked about how Wings just should not be at this bottom part. Like, this is bad because we're getting pressured here super hard. Yeah, we have time to rotate too, but as soon as we see red go down, like, I think it's time to back up. Tenor has a pretty rough angle here. Tenor, the thing is, after you fail to get this kill here, it becomes super risky to go back in. Not even because of the leader, but because Omega has more time to like stabilize here. Like, look, we missed that hit, and then you see how Omega's like moving back and kind of repositioning. It's to come back to kill you. So it's a lot more riskier to dive back in for that anyway. Because you've given Omega enough time to, like, you know, figure out what they want to do there, I guess. But yeah, we kind of separate there. We play 2-2 on left and right, and it does not work out for us because they have a good push in from left, basically, and we're not stabilized left. Okay, we need to recognize that Blaster's gonna stay under here too. Like, this is a really important thing. Like, we need to burst this. Red, you've fallen for like the same thing twice now with Nolan there. Okay, good. We deal with them. Right. Okay, and then here's the other issue. So my thing is with this, right? Leader is a problem, but what's also a problem is that our push is coming in from left side, right? Like, I think it's for the best that it's coming in from the left. Like, I like that Tenor's taking the space left here. But I think that means Wings needs to go up top left with Tenor. Further back, of course. Wings, your goal here should be more to pressure Nolan and Shadow out of their positions from an angle up above. And not so much worry about Basil. Make sure you're out of Basil's range. And then we can use Wings because you're really close to Whale, and we also have Zuka. You know, we have the tools we need to get Basil out of there. We can move Basil without even having to interact with them. But that's the goal here. Because I've said before, the part I don't like about this right side is you can never have it fully cleared. Basically, you can't have Wings. You can't have any of the right fully cleared by yourself until your team gets all of left. Right, which they have to do as a group of 3. Even with Whale here, Omega can just keep playing this right side, which he does really well. And you're not going to have right fully clear. See how they're still in? And so now, not only do we have to take the fight on left as a 3v4, right? But now we also have to take the fight right as a 3v4. Because we lost one while moving in from the left. And you're still not in the best position to deal with this either. Yeah, that's my issue with this. I don't like the right side can be okay, but it needs to be cleared. Like, I just don't see a way you can do that kind of solo, even with Whale a lot of the times. But yeah. Well, let me go back on this on the 3v4 in mid though, because we're not done with this. But yeah, we move Nolan out, or we kill Nolan, which is good. I like red diving here. I don't think zip is needed, actually. I don't like the zip. Yeah, the zip is unnecessary, red, because you have, with you picking Basil here, you have no, like, you can just play your range. Like, yes, you're weak, but what is the zap gonna do, right? If you just back up. When you zip here, you get a lot closer to the zap for no reason. And when you hold your space there, I think you guys might even be able to just win this. Because, yeah, it's only zap. Like, you see the leader here, you see the zap a little after, and we just get a little too kill hungry, that's all. And then after that, the team has to go, like, full recovery, because we just lost... Red, when you died there, we lost all of our advantage on zone. Like, look at it. We literally went from having... As soon as you kill leader, we had, like, literally all of zone, and now we have none of it. Look at this, because our whale's to get you in. You do great there. And you see how, like, Tenor's coming into zone, Luna's coming into zone. We should have all of zone here, basically. Shadow can't even defend too much of right without having to back up, but that's when you zip and close the gap. And now your fronts are looking to you know, take the rest of zone to cap like you would normally do, but because you're dead, we can't cap the zone. And Omega gets in with the bubble. And Wings is still not able to do much on this right side. And obviously Tenor's going to get picked as well. After that, because we don't have sightlines on front zone anymore. It's also maybe part of the reason why I want Wings on left here is because we have just more general sightlines. Like, no, they're not going to be able to get away with just like pushing you outright, I guess, as easily. But after this, I don't think there's too much else to say here. Like, we try to get something going, but it's just not possible. Okay. Let's start with the easier of the two umami games. Right, okay. Let's go back. I have... Okay, my thing here is that, Wings, if you're gonna play this right side, there's no reason for Tenor to also be looking right with you. Like, I don't think it does too much. Tenor, you can be playing, like... Yeah, I think in general here, you should just be playing opposite side of Wings. Because the other side is gonna need more help than Wings' side is naturally gonna need, unless they're like all pushing, you know, Wings' side or something like that, or like there's 3 on one side. Then in that case, you know, you can look that side. But I think it's clear here from let me go back to your perspective on this part. Like, we should talk about this a little. Like, we should all know where Wings wants to play, but as soon as we kind of see that like left is a little more pressured here, I think we should start to look a little more left. Because we let the carbon get in. We handle it decently though. Let me go back. And then my other issue with this was mostly Wings not picking a side. I think, Wings, you should be either sniper on the left instead of where you are. because where you are allows yourself to get flanked very easily. I talked about that. But yeah, because the pro just kind of pushes through because Wings is on like, you know, low ground and a lot more like susceptible to that. We all kind of crumble. But Tenor, what I'm talking about with you, I think once we know Wings' side here, so like, you know, with Wings playing a solid position on either the top left or the top right, then that's when you want to pick the other side basically. Whatever side needs more help. I think you actually looked at each side like properly there from what you were given. I also have issues with this. Okay, so my issues with this are that we are popping... Let me go back even just a little more. I want to look at some perspectives here on what we have. So we're popping a lot of specials really quick after just kind of recovering from the missiles, right? So like right here we start popping things. We know we're about right about like where one of them is in total. Like I saw the one right a little earlier than this, but we know like literally one of them, and that's it. It's good that we use our specials to move out the player that is closest to us, but I don't think we need that much force to be able to kill this guy. So like let's look. These missiles take a ton of space, and it's good that we get this carbon. Now, for example, if we didn't get this carbon and we were trying to push, I could 100% see the reason to use both Pack, Zuka, and Cooler here, but I think we can save Zuka. And like, if we have to save something here, I think it's Zuka. However, you still get a good pick, so it's not like, it's not the worst thing in the world. It just means that we're gonna have a slightly worse hold / like neutral, depending on how this goes. That's all. That's all that it means. Always try to look to save your specials if you need them, you know? Like, if the enemy is gonna just give you a free pick on them and you guys already have, like, Pack in a really good spot, you know? If we can save it, we save it, even if it makes it a little harder to push in. Okay, but we play neutral well enough that I don't think it matters. Like, these guys, yeah, they don't really do too much against us. I like where we're playing. I don't like how far back we are, though. Like, I remember mentioning this in the other one, like, we are just so far back. We're really scared to do anything here, I feel like, for not a good reason. So, like, look, when we go into frame here, Red takes this right side. There's a really good angle for us because it forces the guy right further back from box, and then also the guy left needs to also move back, right? Like, why do we not keep pushing this? Or at least keep pressuring it a little more. Like, we could definitely be sending in another shield. Someone could be painting up left where this carbon's coming from. Carbon should never even be able to make it there in the first place. Like, look at how far forward Carbon is compared to every other teammate. Every other teammate is, like, behind the box, and then Carbon is up front. Why is Carbon able to get here, right? It makes no sense. And then same thing here. Like, because we're all dealing with this Carbon, because, whoa, shocker, they got here. Red goes down because Red has to take a 1v1 instead of what should be like a 2v1 going into this. Like, look at how they dive here, right? They're all really far back. Like, Wings is the furthest one forward. Wings is playing in a great spot here. I like this spot, but everyone else should be forward, basically. I don't have a problem, Tenor. I think you just pick a side here. If you want to, like, because the thing is, Red can watch the wall, right? So I think, Tenor, you just pick a side. If you go left, you're playing a lot more for the pinch, which is really good, and I think that's the better choice because they don't have snipe here. Although I don't have a problem with right either. If you have like a Zuka here, you know, a Zuka right here would be pretty nice, right? If you have it on the right, like you're just lining stuff up really well. Can also be used on the left. It just depends, but I think you pick a side here. But yeah, ideally left, and then Loon, you also play front. Like, literally just play in front of Wings here. It's not like it's not like they have a leader that's gonna just one shot you, you know, for standing top mid. Like they don't have anything like that. They have Stamper, but it's not going to be able to do that one that quickly, or two that as effectively as like a leader can. So you guys can definitely play front. Tenor has because you're looking down, Tenor, like, or because you play this top mid angle instead, it's a lot harder for you to even just find the carbon / kill them, right? But it's also harder for the rest of the team to like take the rest of the space that they need to here. But yeah, with Loon playing up, Red should live here, right? Because Loon helps the fight right with Red, if they even take that, which I don't even think they'd take. I think they would look more towards Loon first, honestly. 2, this carbon has no entry, and like you guys should be able to just pinch them out. Like I don't see what would go wrong here. You guys even have Zip to pinch them out even further, right? They should stagger. So yeah, I think you guys mess up a really strong position there. That's all. Okay, and then we hold it with Pack. I remember this. Loon, you have a great pick here. This is great. Or whoever picked that. That was good. We have a good cooler too. Other than that, like, yeah, again, I think we should just be clearing right a little more. Right, this, okay, so this part. My issue with this is we just underestimated how quickly they would be back in. So, like, look at the space we have here, right? Loon just cleared almost all of left. We know that there's one guy left, he's backing up. That's all of left cleared, right? The only thing we don't clear here is, like, the back right. We have no idea what's going on back mid, back right. And that's exactly where we dive. And that's why we die. That's basically it here. Red goes for a great 1v1. Catches them off guard. Gets 2. We should be able to hold this. Yep, looks good. Tenor dies 2. I think a bomb. But we can still, yeah, we still have positions to play where we can do good here. Red, you're really far back. I know you're trying to zip here, but you're still really far back. And your zip is also mistimed. So, like, okay. We're gonna go back, actually, yeah. So, Red, I don't have, I would normally say I don't have too much of a problem with you playing for zip. It makes sense. The problem is Tenor's down. You'll see here, right? Because Tenor's down to this bomb right here, this bomb is crucial. Tenor is still on jump, right, when you come into zip. And because of that, look who's playing front. No one's playing front. Why is no one playing front? Because Tenor's not alive. When you zip in, Tenor's coming back, right? Which means that they got all the space box, which is what you were playing for with zip. That was the whole goal with the zip here, was to kind of catch them off guard as they push into box, right? But we have none of the space, none at all. And yeah, that's gonna be what messes us up here, I think. Yeah. Now we can prevent this a little, I think, with 2 different strategies. One, again, Loon, I think you should be playing up a little more. We can afford to risk a little. You're not very close to cooler, and this right side there's no enemies there, right? So you can afford to paint a little further front. And throw bombs where the Stamper is, you know, like paint up a bit of the box. You can still be like right pillow while you paint. But yeah, just go up a little further. That way you're also not like super stacking on wings with the missiles and everything like that. And so the Stamper doesn't move both of you at the same time, right? Because the Stamper moves both of you at the same time, the carbon comes in. So yeah, because we're stacking there, and also like the missiles and us not having the space already that we're going for, we're trying to save with zip. It's a little rough. Hold on 1 second. Is there anything else about this? Oh wait, hold on. Okay. Other than that, right, and then the other thing about this is we need to be, Red, you need to be playing more for what we've been given, right? Because Tenor died to that bomb earlier, I don't think we can zip so early. Like, our strategy instead needs to be we're zipping for something else, right? The goal in that case then is probably to just stay left zone and then stall out the time and keep like poking from left zone until Tenor's back, right? And once Tenor's back, then we can maybe make an argument to zip, or you could just stay left zone and then let Tenor like rotate towards you left or something. Or first try and get a pick on like the carbon coming front, or whoever's trying to get a pick from them, right? Because they're forced to move into you with how low your zone timer is. Tenor moving forward here is also pretty bad though, I think. Again, let them come to us. But either way, I think because the Zip came out to defend the box space and we just didn't have that space, like that's what ended up putting us on the chopping block there, I think. This fight is super difficult for Tenor. Loon gets a great pick. This is what we need. We have the right side. Red backs up. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I love everything about that. And Loon gets another pick. See, why are we not more aggressive? We can afford to be more aggressive sometimes, Loon. You're doing good. Great angle again, Loon, there. It's just we got picked by the Stamper. Okay. It happens. We have... Okay, I don't know why we stopped looking top mid, though. We all dove for this right side, which I don't like, because one, our pack recall is top mid. You know, so, like, we need to be looking a little more towards that. Tenor, especially, like, when you see that pack come out, like, you need to hold top mid. Especially from the left side, right? Like, Wings has this right side. No one is contesting Wings as the right side. But the problem is they go left, and because of that, they almost make it in. I'm surprised they didn't go for the recall here and kill Loon as well, you know? That could have been ugly. And then now, like, when you're around here, then, okay, now we drop for right, we help red in the position we're in. This is great, though. How do we not win off this? Okay, again, I think we're playing too much of block, or too much of top mid. Like, I guarantee you they're gonna just take some space left here because we don't have anyone front. They took a lot of space left, yeah. And then some of right, too. Red dives, gets a great kill. We need to save, though. Come back left, red. We don't come back left. Maybe that's okay, though. Tenor needs to really live here. Great kill. Oh, no, the sword. Right, okay. I remember this. So let's go back from the beginning here. Around here, I really don't like... I don't like two things about this. I mentioned this before. I think we can do a lot more stuff here when we're 4 up. Like, look at this. It's a 4v2, guys. We have so much going for us. Why do we not move forward just a little more? A little more. Let's clear this guy out of right. Like, what's stopping us? It's 4v2. You know? But we let this guy on right live. We have no problems with, like, just sitting where we are. And because of that, we get missiled, right? We give up a lot of space on left box that we could have made them fight for. And then we do the same thing on the right because, again, we're stacked with missiles, right? We have to move off right. But if we had cleared the space, right, you know, maybe even gotten the pick on the zap, they would be pushing into a 3v4 with missiles, sure. But you guys have a lot more space to back up because of the missiles. I think we really just don't do enough there. Now, I'm not saying go dive them, you know, but, like, we can at least push out the zap. And then right, this, like, Wings, we need to pick a spot. I think back left where Loon is great for you. Because you can play this, like, this on Inkable, you know, and kind of drag them into a fight that they don't want to take. For example, if Lunas still keeps playing the spot, you know, and you become the target, Wings, on, like, the top left, like, Loon can peek out and kill 1, maybe even 2, if they're trying to shoot at you. Now, obviously at this point it's way too late to go there, and we're in a really awkward spot because of that. Like, look, you're playing the same spot that you played opening. It goes just about the same way, with 2 of us going down from someone top mid that we couldn't even see. Not too much else to say about that. We go in from the back here. God, this is so awkward. Let's go back. But yeah, I mean, I think we can just, like, I see why we backed up here. Makes sense, but it's not optimal. And because it's not optimal, like, you see what happens here, you know, with that. I think the zip here is pretty good. Red, don't put yourself in between both of them, though. I think that's bad. Like, look at this. What's stopping them from just killing you? You right here, Red. Like, you have a great position here. The zip makes sense, right? Like, this makes sense, but you put yourself in between both of them. I'm really surprised. Like, the pro just does not kill you for some reason. I guess it's hard to see. But yeah. And then all this, like, after that, though, I mean, you still live. You don't get punished for it. You're fine, Red. Yeah, it's just like you guys are fighting a losing battle. That's pretty much it there. Wings should have backed up earlier. I mentioned that. 4. Right, and then Wings, you also did see the carbon here. We should have known that the carbon was at least somewhere around here. We'd be looking for him, right? We don't see them, and I think that's what messes us up here. I don't think I have anything else to say about that, though, right? Yeah, that's about it. The carbon just kind of messes us up. Moon gets a pick. Stabilize. They have a lot more space, though. Like, look at all the space they've taken because of that. The one carbon just getting one. That's all it took. We go down. Red can't do too much here, and that's game. Yeah, there isn't too much else to say about that, I think. Yeah, I don't have too much to say about this fight. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Next game. We'll go do the other zones. Umami now. Forget how this one goes. So I mentioned, yeah. Wow. They just kind of get in. Yeah, they get in really quick here. Yeah. Okay. It's obvious we, like, to me, we just didn't keep the pressure up on right. Like, we kind of give it away here, you know? Loon, we should keep shooting from earlier there so that doesn't happen, I guess. That's not really, like, okay, it happened, now we gotta figure out how we're not gonna let this carbon in next time kind of thing, you know? It's not like we're gonna be able to really prevent this at the start, in a manner that will, like, be, I don't know, in a manner you'll be able to do every time, or be able to replicate. Yeah, like, the carbon just kind of gets in because Ninja activates at the right time and you guys don't see it. Other than that, yeah, I guess just keep looking zone Loon. Like, you kind of give it, you see how you give it up there? You give up just a little bit, maybe, without really needing to. Like, there's no real reason to back up yet because the bamboo is not looking at you, so just make sure we keep the zone painted, especially because the carbon's there. Nothing else to say about that. Oh, wings. Okay, right, I remember this. Good. They overstayed their welcome. And I mean, I like where we're playing. Like, this is pretty good. Everything about this is great. We take a little bit of a risky 1v1 here. We clean up the right, but let's move forward. Forward. We don't move forward. Now, okay. It's harder to move forward into a comp like this. Bamboo especially, right? You don't want to be picked bamboo, but I think it's possible. Like, I don't think there's anything stopping you guys from sending in a little more pressure on the right side, you know, maybe getting red on top of the box on the right, or something like that. Like, a zip from there would be pretty nice, you know. Or just tent shields through, but we need something, I think. And Luna especially, like, I think your job during that time, you don't have to be the furthest forward, but you have to be painting forward. Both to enable the rest of your team to take that space and also just to hold the control there. Because if we go back, like, let's go back to here, right? You guys just don't take as much space as you can. Oh wait, it was really far after this. I don't know why it went so far back. Let's go to around here. Like, we start getting the good picks. All this is great. Like, I don't have a problem with this at all, except for maybe Tenner's a little stranded, but Stan makes a bad play, and we do good off of it. Loon even is able to make Ziff jump out. And then here. So, like, look at this. Look at how much of a box we still have. Like, every single one of them is further back from, like, their snipe than you guys could be right now, you know? That's all I'm saying. Like, the enemy's probably wondering, like, okay, why are they sitting there? Type of thing. We have 3 specials to use as well. We don't have to wait for them. Like, Wings should not be the furthest forward here. That's all that is. I don't even think the pack is too risky if we're forward. I think it's good. Right, okay, and then this is... I mentioned how I don't like that we jump to this, or at least I don't like that Wings jump to this. I think it makes sense for Red to jump, but Wings, it's a little risky. Because I would say it's a lot less risky if these guys are not running, if these guys are running like an actual back, but they're not running an actual back. They're trying to get in. Quick. Okay. Red look left, yeah. We get picked by Zuka, we have to back up. Luna, I also don't think you should be snipe here. I don't think there's a reason for you to be snipe. I think you should be helping left. I want to go back and look. Snipe, you're just kind of begging to be Zuka. But more than that, Loon, with you being on snipe, like, look at this. This bamboo's trying to kill you. Like, they're pushing in left here, Loon. We need you left, you know what I mean? Like, we need you where you threw that cooler to help Tenor and stuff. But yeah, you being sniped, you're kind of stranded in solo, and you're not contributing too much to the team fight other than the cooler, basically. Which is my problem with that. And you're dead here, yeah. We're feeding. We're feeding. You just gotta kind of back up and play it slow. Like, punish this, this bamboo together. They back up. Our pack is really far back. I talked about that. We also don't have anything pressuring the rail until it's like way too late into the pack. But that's also because the pack is so far back, you know? So like it's a whole thing. And yeah, there's nothing else for us to do there. I think that's it. You guys just gotta take a little more space front, like I said, you know? At least pressure the snipe, you know? The goal should always... In those types of cases, right, where, like, we don't want to go down, we don't want to just straight out, like, you know, 1v1 them for a kill while we have hold, right? In those types of cases, our goal should always just be take as much space as possible without dying. And without having to really commit to a fight, basically. That's why I'm saying, like, if you go to their snipe, like, yes, then you're committing to a fight, right? But going towards their snipe and, like, taking some of the choke, that's not really committing to a fight. Then you're just holding the space, is what I'm saying. And then you know, you have so much space to back up on if you ever need to. You're not forced to take any fight. So yeah, and then like there, you guys, I think the momentum of you guys all dying to the bubble jump in was really like crucial. Like you guys all went down there and then you just went down again because we kept jumping in and stuff. But a team like this is going to punish you for wiping. I mean, every team is going to punish you for wiping, but when you're wiping like this, multiple times, like, it's over. So, can't wipe. Gotta stabilize. I think you all kind of know how to do that. Or how to try to do that. Tower Urchin. Again, versus Moonlight. This is the final Moonlight game. Oh, I think I missed a zones one, actually. I just realized. Maybe I didn't. I forget if it was 3 sets that Link sent me or 4. I'll check after this. Okay. So. This game was also... yeah, there's not too much going wrong in this game either, I think. So, let's start with how we control mid. I like most of the angles we take here. because the cooler's left, like we drag our attention left into the charger. Red, your fight is pretty wide here as well, but it all kind of works out. This is fine. Like, everything here is mostly fine. I don't have too much of a problem with this. I would say, like, when we're fighting this, going forward though, try to take a bit more of a surprise angle on them. So, like, for example, right? Look at how tower's positioned here. Show you right here. Because tower's blocking their sight line, like, I think you can afford to just swing in from the right, and that would be a lot less risky. Because you dive into zone, like, the enemy a lot of times I think is gonna have a better chance of killing you outright. But this is still like a good play. Like, they aren't looking there, so you guys get a good kill. And then I want to actually go back a little more. Like, that's my only real problem with this is our first fight here is really risky with how we take it. And it's also not really with any help. Like, think about that too, right? We get a pick, which is really good timing as well for it. And Red just kind of dives, and we get a little lucky with, you know, where Omega was and stuff like that. But Red, you make really good use out of it. Here, I think you do good, and that's about it. Like, the thing is, instead of pushing off of like, you know, each other, we're just kind of pushing off Red here, which I don't like too much. Now, how would I suggest we push off of each other better? Like, one, I don't think we throw cooler left. Cooler left here is bad because none of us end up playing left at all anyway. You know, we just put it mid, and then from there, from there, I think we can kind of ignore Charger, actually. Like, let's look back at this one more time. Like, look at this. Because Charger's so far left and everyone else is right, like, let's just look right where Tenor's looking. Because, yeah, Red does a great job here getting this kill. But, like, you don't have much of a reason to look left. I don't see a reason to go help or to go try and 1v1 the Charger left, you know. They don't matter very much. They're not going to get any value there. Like, look at the sightlines here. They only have this left side. Like, this is what Basil's looking at right now, right? What is Basil looking at? Literally only the right side. You know, where that cooler's placed, and that's it. So because of that, yeah, I think we all just can kind of move a lot more left here and do a lot more with this than we are. But yeah, they get a good pick, so it's like, okay. This the 1v1 in theory is not that bad. Booyah gets eaten. Wings, I want you to play right here. Yeah, like right around here. I think you should just swap off tower for Tenor, so you can get top right. Top right's so important. We won also, again, we pack early, which I do like, or like I kind of like. It's okay. I'd prefer maybe a pack like a second later or so, just because there's no one for you to really focus with your first or second shot. But yeah, my issue with this is that we're packing and we just kind of let them in still, you know? We let Nolan get in and just kill us. Red is also really far front here for what we have. Bazooka is broken, and we should stabilize mid. I like this from Tenor. This is good. I don't like that from Tenor. That's bad. What makes this bad compared to the other thing? Like, the thing about Tenor, you don't have to move in here. You're playing your side really well here, right? Like, look at how much angles you have onto anything they go for. That's why Omega dies here, right? But as soon as you go further front, like, you're going into the only angle that they have against you, basically, is what I'm saying. So what can we do instead then, right? Instead, I would like us to play closer to tower and maybe climb up this left wall here where the tower is going through right now, right? Right there, you go up there and you play the same side as Loon. That way, like, ideally, Loon baits a fight for you, and you guys just kind of you guys get a pick for that, I think. Now stuff like that, I don't think I would expect you guys to see. So like just going forward, it's more important rather than like knowing how to take that fight, you know, just from like an overhead view, how you should take that fight. Like it's important here. Like once you settle for this kill, once we get this kill, we be very careful with how we proceed forward, because remember, Omega's not the only one in this area, right? Let's go even further back to see what context clues we have. We've seen the blaster pushing in, right? That's what we run from. They're cooler too. Red just dies. There's 2 there, right? And we see the 2 by tower. Okay. Because of this, Omega's here. Like, where are the others going to be, right? They're going to be like behind tower or on the right, exactly where you play into here. And that's why you die. So at the very least, I would really like, Tenor, for you to play your life after getting an important pick on like Omega like that. And more try to play with the team and how the team approaches things. I don't think you should be going off on the right solo. But yeah, because we have so much space left, like we can just keep playing left. I don't have a problem with that. Leave it to like Wings to look right for you, Tenor. After we get this, because that pick on Omega gives Wings a lot of entry on the right that we could take if we just stalled mid a little longer, you know? Because then Shadow wouldn't be able to just hard push this, because bro felt like it, you know? At least we do keep playing off this left side anyway, though. Like, this is pretty good. My only issue with this is that Wings, you need to back up. We need to go left. How do I, like, how would you know that you need to go left here? I will show you. It's as soon as your front gets picked. Why does it always does this? Okay. So right here, you'll see in a second. One, you're really far front here too, honestly. Yeah, you kind of notice that, but you see how 2 of your fronts are down? It's time to back up. It's time to play top left. Yeah, like you're the furthest front. I'm surprised Nolan and Basil both aren't more forward to get an angle on you, but like you need to back up anyway. This is just too far. Red, you're super open, but that ends up being fine. Okay, and again, I don't think we dive this. Like, we have the mid control, and that's huge, Red. Like, a lot of this, I think, is settling in mid. Think about mid as, like, it's, in a way, a bunker, right? Anyone pushing you is going to have a really hard time because they have to dive a corner if they want to do it quickly, right? Otherwise, it's a slow process to take all in mid. When you get so much control of mid like this, Red, Tenor, whoever it is, like, you keep it. You keep it. You keep this spot. As soon as we see that, like, you know, okay, we just got this pick in mid, either climb up the wall that you just came from, which you know is safe, right? Or just hold mid. If you do that, you're gonna have a lot more presence against them while they try to push this tower, and you'll be able to actually like pinch them out. But because, you know, we dove them, Red, you have your whole advantage is just gone. Everything that you got from that great play is just it's gone, turned to dust now. And then yeah, we kind of just crumble here. My issue with this part is that we were never top left to begin with, which means that Basil just kind of took this for free. Right, like what is the Loom gonna do here at this point? Other than that, we need to be making more space on right. Think about it this way, right? When we give up so much space left, where is our backup route, right? Like, Basil is forcing us out of this position, right? Where are we backing up to? It's to the right, right? There's no other place to back up because this map sucks. So where should we be clearing then in order to be able to back up safely? It's the right side. It's where Nolan's coming from right now. Look at how little paint we have over just everything in front of us and where we are, and even our backup route. We have none of it painted, none of it at all. And that's so bad. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. And then we also shove all of ourselves into this one corner exactly where they want us to be instead of even backing up in the first place. So we force ourselves into a bad fight here, and we get punished really hard for that. They fight that really well. Tenor gets a great opening pick. That's what we need. Tenor stays behind them. I like this. Shadow can't do anything. Tenor probably just stick behind them, honestly. Wings has a great spot. This is good. Yeah, Loon needs a jump, though. We jump. Perfect. Should have probably even jumped earlier. And then I mentioned something about this play against the Charger. I forget what it was, Wings. Oh my god. Yeah, I forget what it was. I think that you were just peeking the Charger, or yeah, right. We didn't need to fight the Charger here. Like, look, or you're not maybe trying to fight the Charger, but you're in an angle that the Charger can peek when you can just be playing further back and spamming, which is what I think you need to be doing. Oh my god, hold on 1 second. Okay, my throat is like becoming sore. Ugh. I'm drinking water too. Okay, and then here, like, the problem is you guys have to fight an S-Blast, which is really rough in the spot that we've allowed Nolan to get to because Wings died. Like, look at how far up they get. They get really far here, right? Like, Nolan notices that, like, Nolan doesn't even need to push tower. Who cares about tower right now, right? Like, Nolan can just kind of hold this angle and wait for something like this. Now, they handle it poorly because Omega is late and also because Tenor is a paintbrush, but still the angle's really strong. Tenor is a good trade for you. You're really lucky to get more than one, though. And again, we just cannot move Basil. It's more so a problem that we let them get so far there in the first place, basically, than it is that, like, okay, yeah, now we're gonna have trouble clearing them. I think, honestly, we should save, like, a pack for them if we can, but that could be hard to do. The only other thing I see really working is maybe playing a little more of the right side. Like, look at the right side's angles and, like, lanes that you got that it has. Like, I think that would suit you guys a little better. Now, don't let Basil get all the way forward on left, right? But at the same time, like, I think we can play a little more right if Basil's going to be so hard focused on left, and then all at kind of once more push Basil off of left. Or just keep pushing right until Basil's, like, super out of position. Okay, this is good. Our Loon gets a great kill. Tenor gets a good kill. We use a lot of stuff here for no reason. Like, it gets us nowhere. It's just does nothing. Yeah, let's go back, actually. Let's go through this sequence one more time. So, again, we really just don't settle. We get some great picks here on, like, literally everyone. I don't even know how Red lives there. But we never settle for the space we have and to, like, just reposition, you know, re-coordinate things out. So right here, for example, right, we have Loon go in. Against the S-Blast, you get a great pick. This is great. But we have no reason to be pushing any further forward than this right now until, like, we have more space first. Basil gets a great pick on us too. Tenor also got a pick, but, like, why do we go forward here, right? What's the point? I don't think there is a good point right now. That's my issue. Let's look at mid, right? What do we have in mid going for us right now? We have none of ramp. We have none of right side of mid at all. Every single time I've seen you guys try to push up right, you guys dive right, when instead you should just be taking the space tree first, okay? And then after that, then we can figure out how we're going to push through. But at least take the space tree instead of diving. And that's their entry here, right? Because we don't have any of this control, they get on right. Look at how they move here. They go out right and dive us as soon as we pop a really aggressive cooler, by the way. Which also I think is part of the reason why we lose this fight. But, like, look at this. So what can we do differently other than just the obvious, which is painting tree? Let's go back even more from here. As soon as Loon gets this pick, I want to explain what should be happening. Was it before this? It was before this. We're gonna go all the way back. Okay, so starting here, we get a great pick on Omega, and Loon takes a risky fight that ends up working out for us. We have Cooler, so it's not that risky, but still, we get a great pick here. This is exactly what we need, right, to start building a push forward. Loon, I have no problem with you going a little further out, but you should never be pushing ramp here. I don't think it should be ramp. If you want to look forward at this point, you need to be just painting mid. You paint mid, bomb the Cooler. But because, like, look at how much attention you're dragging onto yourself, right? Basil's looking at you, and Omega is too. You guys are forcing, like, space left when you haven't even cleared right. And that's my problem here. Like, we pack really early as well for just a situation we don't need to pack for yet. Like, look at how much of the space we don't have. So yeah, I think we need to look a little more towards the right entry here from them. And we do that by just waiting a second. Like, Loon, again, you can push, but you don't have to be like, when I say push, it means more take space rather than try to take a fight. Because you're going in here to really take a fight, you know? Like, or kind of. You're more so trying to, like, hold the line. When you don't need to be doing that just yet. And that's the other thing. Like, we're really forcing this here, where Tenor is still far back. Like, look at how far back Tenor is. We can start forcing the line forward when, one, we get tower moving first. In this case, at least. Like, let me show you. Like, Loon, you wait a second, right? After you get this pick, you wait a second, you paint mid, and you bomb the Cooler, okay? And then Wings, you start moving towards tower. You're not on tower yet, though. You do a great job here for all of that, except for popping pack. Like, we just do not need to pop pack yet. We need to clear right first. The team should be looking right, especially red. Red, you don't have really a reason to go too far forward here, unless you want to be looking at Omega, which is fine. I'm okay with that. But we need to at least wait for this pick on right before we even move tower, right? Once right is clear, then we tap tower. Then afterwards, Wings can pack into Basil here with a much better position because we'll also have Tenor forward, right? And Loon won't be instantly dead because we'll have Tenor forward as well. And Wings, you know, will have a better position with the pack and stuff. And so will Red because they're not clumped tower. And because you guys will have taken this, you know, a second, 2 seconds slower after clearing the right side, you'll have a much better opportunity going forward. But like, the right side is so crucial here because we don't care too much about the space right now. Like, look at what we have, right? Where can they possibly be coming from? It's the right side. But yeah, we just don't wait long enough. We're not patient enough to wait for that. I also just think the pack is a bit of a waste where it was placed. And so is the Booyah. Like, we should be using one of those max, and it should be a 4v2 with the pack or Booyah. One of the two. But I think we just don't play this well. I don't know how else to explain it, but I feel like I'm not explaining it too well. Or explaining what I need to explain very well. Like, the entire goal of this play right here is to, one, play off of what Loon has, right? Without risking too much. Why are we not risking too much? We're not risking too much yet because we have not cleared right and Tenor is down. Right? So once Loon gets this pick, boom, our objective is now swapped to we are looking to take the rest of the space that we are missing in mid, right? Off of this pick. That should be step number 1. We think about this in steps, right? We're not skipping straight to step 2 where we are pushing past tower and, you know, trying to clear space super far front, right? Our step 1 is we're taking the rest of the mid control that the pick that Loon gets us, okay? So that is all of mid, all of the right side, right? Then comes step 2, which is pushing tower and making sure that we move Basil. Once Basil is moved, ideally, like, you know, we're taking right here, we're taking mid. Omega is maybe getting something going on the left side, but we're still shutting it down with Wings, you know, with Wings shooting there and also Red shooting there, right? And then we start to look more right here. Like, no reason to pack yet, right? No reason at all to pack. We're still cooler. We're still good to go here. Tenor deals with red. Tenor gets in a little more. And then from here, now or so, like, again, I don't think we should both be tower here. I don't even think we should be pushing tower just yet. Maybe Wings would just now start to tap tower. That's when we get things going, right? That's when we start moving Basil. That's when we move tower. That's when Tenor comes in on the right. That's when Moon peeks left, and then we just we dive them, or more so dive them than we like how we're doing right now. Except again, it would be later on. Like, we dive them when Tenor's in like this position right here, rather than all having dived them and then Tenor coming in on right once we finally clear the space, right? And by the way, we still don't even have half of mid. We haven't passed step 1 yet. There's a lot to talk about that. I think that I explained it a little better there. Yeah, this is rough too. Like, I think we're holding on to, like, the thing about this is Moonlight, especially, like the good teams are gonna play off of what you just got here so well. Like, look at this, right? After you guys go down here and we don't have much, like, I just don't see why we commit so much. Like, we're committing way too much with the cooler. We're committing, honestly, too much with where Tenor's placed right now. I'm very surprised. Oh, Tenor did get picked. Okay. I'm surprised Nolan wasn't looking there, actually. I think Nolan messed up there. But, like, even going forward here, like, Wings, you gotta look at this position, like, okay, we just super overcommitted. I should not be packing and overcommitting even more, you know? It's just not, it's not worth, that's all. You guys have to accept your loss here and realize that, okay, we have a minute left to retake. Let's at least get this retake in with the pack. But now we don't even have a pack, so I think our retake is cooked, no matter what, from now on. But yeah, we've lost almost all of our advantage. Tenor brings it back with a double, a ridiculous double, and a quad even. Okay, forgot about that part. But, like, again, they messed up here, right? This is what you get from a map like this. On a map like this, where, you know, Moonlight obviously has not practiced nearly as much as some of the more standard maps, and also this map layout's not standard, right? They're gonna make mistakes like this, and I don't think this is something you guys are gonna be able to get away with Paintbrush, especially on, like, a more standard map or something like that. Like you guys getting 4 there is super unrealistic, and we should not have to resort to playing for that, is what I'm saying, basically. Zuka's a little early, like, we still haven't even gotten checked. We're playing this for the stall, basically. Tenor is risking every single ounce of his being by being top right now, fighting 3 of them. Whereas we haven't even pushed tower. Like, this is again what I'm saying. I think the goal here should be to save Zuka. I think we can do that reasonably. I see why we Zuka here, but again, I think there's no point, is what I'm saying. Tenor, I think your best course of action here is not playing right here, or, like, playing a deeper angle on the right side than you are right now. Yeah, like, maybe that right corner or something. And the reason I say that is because ideally someone else takes tower, like Red takes tower. Look how far back they are, right? Red can afford to take tower as Wings moves up right, and takes, like, basically where you're standing right now, Tenor. If Wings is there, you guys have a much better shot of pushing to 20. But even then, like, this is super ridiculous. I don't think you guys can get there. Like, I don't think it's reasonable to expect you guys to be able to, you know, push to 20 like this, or in these positions. Our specials get decent value though. Red, I think you kind of hesitated for this opportunity here. I think you can just dive left. I want to look back at this one more time. When you're in this position, Red, after this booyah, like, look at how much we have to settle, right? We see that we're moving them left. Like, let's keep diving them. Just keep diving. Just keep going. Now the bomb might have killed you, I'm not gonna lie. That Basil's playing that really well. But I think you just dive that anyway. Like, the reason Basil threw a bomb there was because, oh shoot, like, the best play for this sword to do is to try and kill me while I'm rotating, right? And if you're able to do that, like, that's a really good play that might actually get you guys back in this. But I don't think there's anything else you guys can really do here. I mean, you have to get past, like, such a huge obstacle of that wall. I don't think it's reasonable to, like, try and like, make up some fantasy scenario where you guys can do that, because I don't think it's possible. Not like that, at least. You guys gotta at least break a check or two, you know, before pushing that. Okay. We have the Rain and the Clams games. This one is against the ball up top people. And they are playing VAC 96. I talked about this, I feel like I talked about this game with the team a bit more in the Wings VoD than, like, specifically just Wings here. I'm gonna think a bit more before I say anything, because I don't wanna be talking too much more. That's how my voice is. Right. Okay, so this whole first 30 seconds is pretty good. I just don't like how little we, one, help Tanner, and how little we look at top mid. And I think I went into detail a lot in the Wings VoD, and I think that was mostly like Wings needs to look there. But it would also help if we at least threw like something from Loon or something, you know? Because Tenor can't be the only one holding mid. Like, that's just not going to work. That's why they pushed. And then, again, I think we took Rain prematurely. I mentioned that. However, we do save it pretty well here. You know, like, we punish them pretty well. Loon, you know Carbon's here, don't you? Okay, we're back. Loon, I think you know. I think you know Carbon's here. Get two. Oh right, it's after we die. Okay, so we see the Carbon's there. Carbon's front. Yeah, look at where Carbon goes. Carbon goes down there. Oh, we think we have it cleared. Okay. Loon, you play this pretty well. My issue is that this Carbon can peek you even before this and get away with it. Like, just because the Carbon here, like, we see them, you know 100% that the Carbon was at least there, right? My issue here is going down into this corner. I don't think this corner is good because it gets rid of your angle on directly below where that, like, Rainmaker free sign is, like, you know, that little corner. I think you can stay up top here where you were just a second ago, and if you stay up top there, like, the max you're going to need to do to make sure that you're 100% sure that this corner is clear is throwing a bomb at the bottom, right? That's all you really need to do. I mean, you can do the same thing from the other side, but it's more likely that you're going to die, I think, if you do that. So just stay up top there and, like, shoot down to make sure it's all clear and stuff, you know? Because you like, kind of, you soft cleared this corner even though you knew the Carbon was here, you know? You just, like, assume, like, oh, okay, the Carbon's not here anymore, you know? When, like, to be 100% sure after seeing that, you need to hard clear it. And the only way to do that really safely, I think, is from playing top and telling them, like, wait, I saw a Carbon here or something like that, you know? So we just at least take this a little safer. Because we can 100% get check off of that. Like, there's no reason we should not be getting check off this. Or that the Carbon played should have worked. Cause like, I'm gonna go back one more time. Look at when this carbon goes down here. It's not like this carbon's been there for like 5 minutes. Like they go down there in broad daylight while like 2 or 3 of you are watching. You know, like I want to see how many people see this carbon. Seriously, because it's gotta be a lot. Center's down. Yeah, look, even Red sees it. Or like, you know, maybe Red doesn't focus on it, but surely someone at least kind of notices, right? Or like has some like, oh hey, Carbon was here a minute ago. Where's Carbon now? You know? Does Rain see it? No, Rain doesn't see it. Okay. Yeah, there's clearly not enough communication about how we just saw the Carbon though. You know, like that's my issue here, I guess. Our communication should at least be, okay, there was a Carbon here. What does that mean? Maybe we need to take it through mid instead, you know? Like, just to be sure, if we can't clear it quick enough. Alright, I didn't really expect you guys to win that fight, so makes sense. They waste a back here. Just give it to them, yeah. Play for a decent pack here. Yep, good. Good. Great fight. We again just let the Carbon through. Not even so much of like letting the Carbon through issue, but maybe even just being like again too quick with the Rain. Yes, we shouldn't be letting Carbon through, but we are risking a lot by just diving it. Same thing here with Red, but I mean, we get it done. Wings can rotate back top mid. We have time to do so. I mentioned that. And other than that, I don't have like this pack is okay. Actually, I think it works out. Yeah, it's about as good as you can do. Titter, you should just drop the Rain. You played for Zuka, which is, I think, a more risky thing to do, but I think you could just drop the Rain here. Let's look at this one more time, from your perspective. Yeah, like, look, they go behind you. Like, no point even looking. Just jump it off. I guess that is a little risky to do. It's risky no matter what. You know, anyway you put it here. You got to make a play, and you make a play that's not bad. Let's go back here. They play that pretty well. No need to waste anything else. Let's just clear this final guy. We know he's around here. We see him. We don't see the jump shoot. But we kill him. Right, okay. And the Carbon's back in. No way we didn't see him. Okay, good. God, but we get picked so quick. Yeah, these guys aren't really respecting the space that a normal team would give you, I think. Or the space that you expect to be able to just take for free, you know? They're fighting for basically every bit of it. Their bags turned. I mean, this is all just kind of a scrap. We end up winning, which was inevitable, but yeah. It's more of just stalling from them. This is more what I want to see. Red's pretty aggressive here. I don't think the zip's bad, but I don't think we fight with the zip like that. I think we zip there to get out of the position. That's what I'm thinking. Like, we zip to just get away from the other sword. Because Red, you put yourself in a really risky spot there to begin with. Wings is also super aggro for not too much of a reason here. Like, we're overcommitted. And they punish us well for it. Good team fight. But I don't think we really have time. Red takes it. We don't know where the carbon is. Zip comes out, we punish it perfectly. Pack is alright here. Right, but we kind of just go down. I mean, yeah, we gotta make a push in overtime. Always pretty rough. Okay, I'll be right back. Just give me a minute. Yeah, the thing is, they're stalling you a lot during that game. And there isn't too much for you guys to do other than try to clean up the fight faster without dying and minimize your death count, so you guys have more opportunities to push, and then also not overcommit on the push. Okay. Yeah, we just got museum clams now. Let's go. Right, so my issue here is we'd have no one looking left. And I talked about that with wings. Like, I think this entire game we just don't have enough pressure on left or on right, like at all. And every time they score, they use right a lot with it. Nice. But yeah, again, we're not looking too much right. And then when we look right, they get left, you know? It's the whole thing. Like, we need to be able to hold some space while taking the rest. Hard to do against this team. It also doesn't help that wings are so far back, too, you know? Tenor gets a great play here, but we let them in. They're probably calling to just jump it, but they never do. Yeah, again, we're just really far. We're super separated, really far away from each other. Everything that you guys have been going for on left hasn't worked out because we're just not really team pushing and we don't have the resources. Or our resources are allocated to other tasks, like for example pushing them back right, but we haven't even pushed them back left, you know? So we can't make anything of the right stuff. And that's already half the game gone. Now this isn't the worst thing in the world for us, like they haven't scored. We have a ton of claims on the left too that just broke. But again, we're just dead. Yeah, Loon, I don't think we should be going for anything on right, really. Problem is, this map is definitely difficult. It's difficult for you guys to both control both sides at once, you know? Because, like, okay, when wings goes left, like, what happens on right, right? The thing is, I think it becomes a lot easier if you start with right and then go to left and then go back to right. So for example, wings, you could start where you are with looking at box right? That makes sense. But then we rotate left and we help Tenor push in left a little bit, right? We need to get Tenor a foot in mid at least, and with red ideally too, right? And then we go back to looking at box quickly after. And our goal is to get Tenor into mid in a good spot with good positioning as quickly as possible before they can get to the right side. Now, if that's not possible and they still get in on right, like then okay, we might just need to have red play like, you know, front, top, plat, mid-ish area. Like right close to by where this pillow is to make sure, or you know, someone else be there to make sure that no one gets in on right. If that's what we gotta do, that's what we gotta do, you know? But I think it's important here to know that, okay, we have to at least try, like all of us need to try here for this left side at some point if we want to get in. And they've given us a couple of opportunities to do it so far. Red's taking the 1v1. We need to help. We do help. And like now's a great opportunity to get in on left. Again, same thing. Tenor gets a decent spot. I think this is a little aggressive. And it's again, we don't need to push. I think red, you were a little overcommitted there. Let's go back. We're not forced to move immediately after we take this space, right? Like, Tenor and red overstepping here and going a little further is what allows the carbon to get in on right for basically free. Wings, again, still, you need to be making sure that that doesn't happen, which I know is tough, and Moon should be trying to help you because they're putting so much pressure on right, but we're also still overstepping our left side here at the same time. In the same sort of way, it's like I think it's a good idea to have some balance on both sides here, right? Instead of just pushing in from the left. That's why I said we alternate, right? We look right, or, you know, most of our pressure's on right to start, you know, by basket. Then we look left. And then once we have our left mid, then we get our right mid, right? And then we move through. The pencils angle here is really good on you guys. And I think I mentioned this in the Wings VoD, we just need to play this slower again. We're diving far front without one of our fronts, and then also we're diving far front when we need to get to 41 or whatever it is. Yeah, 41 with one ball. You know, it's just not going to happen. Our Zuka's used really early here. Tenor, you're also just really far front, which I mentioned that in the Wings VoD. Yeah, like you're stranded. Red, because Tenor's stranded, then tries to make a play to, you know, both get a ball in and get closer to Tenor, which ends up backfiring. And Wings also overcommits to that whole process because Wings wants to get red in. But it's the same thing. We're all just too overcommitted here, without even having cooler or anything like that. So we're back in slow, and because of that, they should take all of mid and look to pressure right again. Look, see how they're pressuring right? They have a lot of space. Yeah. Tenor has some sort of footing left, although we need to be making sure that they don't cross like this, but they do because chumps. And that is all of mid taken by them. We have to kind of give up a score here, that's fine. Zuka's great here. Our zip is maybe a little early. It's not really that much of a problem though. It's more of a problem is that we just don't have any of plat. We have no way to help you, Red, with the fight you're taking with zip. Other than that, we know that the guy's right. And yeah, again, we just need to be, it's step by step, right, left, right, move, you know, forward. Not so much so like just left or just right, you know. But I don't think there's much you can do here. That's it. My voice is kind of dying, so I gotta stop anyway. I had to go over those games kind of quick. See you guys.